Michael, so good to have you here. Congrats on the fundraise.
Thank you. Thank you. We're thrilled to be partnering with you guys.
Maybe take us back to the beginning. What was it that you saw was missing in the marketplace based upon your background, building for developers, shipping enterprise software that led you to, embrace the idea of WorkOS?
WorkOS as a company idea it's not really the thing you dream of building when you're a child. It's not like as a kid, I was drawn towards enterprise SaaS infrastructure.
Right.
It actually came from a previous company I had started, which was very much a product company. So we had built the SaaS product, we took it to market, got a bunch of users, and then found that there was this huge hurdle between getting initial customers and actually getting companies to use your product and actually scaling it. That's what we set out to fix at WorkOS, was to help companies cross that enterprise chasm, as we describe it, and go up market and really satisfy all the security needs that IT brings to the table. We're essentially like a security company, but focused squarely on helping developers make their products enterprise ready.
Time of AI, you position yourself really, really well. I think you have the whole roster of who is who in the AI native companies like Anthropic, Perplexity, OpenAI, the list goes on and on. Maybe talk to us a little bit about what you had to do in order to earn their trust.
About 2 years ago, I had seen the rise of ChatGPT and this new Claude thing getting launched, at the time, and had no idea that this was actually going to turn into the dominant, driving force of the next technology wave.
Yeah.
And today, we're thrilled to be working with those companies you mentioned, and also, folks like XAI and Thinking Machines, and a bunch of the also application layer companies getting built on top of them. We're not an AI company in the sense we were founded pre-AI, right? But we've found that now, based on our revenue and acceleration, we are an AI infrastructure company.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is all of these products are essentially B2B software companies. They're essentially all still similar to the previous era software businesses, but they grow faster, they get adopted sooner by the enterprise, and they get scrutinized more heavily by IT. And so our product is actually like a perfect fit for them.
So Michael, you talked a little bit about how you were able to successfully penetrate some of these amazing, amazing logos. Are you able to maybe exemplify a little bit more how some of them work with you and how that has changed the game for them?
A great example right now is Anthropic.
Yeah.
Going super fast. We started talking with them about adding just SSO, basic SSO to the Claude product. They were selling to universities. Kids were going to come back to school and they needed to get provisioned and onboarded. And so they integrated with WorkOS that, I guess, August or so, went live with it, shipped it. And so I think it was maybe 6 months ago or so, Anthropic took that SSO feature, which was previously talk to a sales rep, only enterprise, and they just put it into their Teams plan.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a Monday that we were looking at our metrics, and we thought our analytics system was broken because the graph had spiked so much with Anthropic.
Right.
Because overnight they had, increased by almost double that they, that they grew that 1 month, And what we've seen with Anthropic is that growth hasn't, necessarily stopped. They've actually continued to grow within true big enterprise companies, but also mid-market. And WorkOS has actually allowed them to check all of the enterprise boxes with even those kind of commercial mid-market segment and grow and scale. So anybody today that's signing into Claude or their Anthropic account, for either the API console or Claude from their work system, that's actually going through WorkOS. You might not see it, you might not know it,
Nice.
but that's us under the hood.
Obviously, historically, authentication, authorization, a lot of this was centered around human beings. With the onset of agents, how does maybe authentication and sort of what you do change in that paradigm shift?
Human authentication, people, has been a thing for a long time, even predating, computers, having a credential that you present, from the government, like a passport or a wax seal on something from the king, right? We've also had non-human identity for a while in machines. Machine identity, credentials, for certificates, mutual TLS, things like that machines use to interface with each other. It's kind of the backbone of the internet. What's in between those is AI agents. Because AI agents actually look more like people than they do like machines. And they collaborate with people and they sort of think like people. They're able to do these reasoning steps, but they're not people. They can spawn very quickly. You can get a ton of them made very quickly. They can do stuff very, very fast. And they're fallible. I mean, people are fallible, but agents are fallible in this kind of strange way that we don't really have the IT controls around. The tension between machine identity and human identity in the middle actually is requiring us to rethink all of those principles and build new fundamental elements for agentic identity and agentic tool calling and authorization.
Maybe looking out a few years from now with the onset of AI, what are we talking about? Not in 3 years even, I think, but like what is WorkOS in this rapidly changing environment?
Yeah, I feel like you can't say what's 3 years out.
I
It's
know,
like
yeah,
3 weeks,
yeah.
or maybe 3 days. These agentic systems now are able to have long duration reasoning. They're able to take tasks and execute with them for a long period of time. And that is a totally different thing that we've had as an element for building things. The whole technology stack, I think, is going to get disrupted because of this, because it's so powerful and so different. One of the things I'm the most excited about, though, is software becoming autonomous. Like right now, you go to your phone and do something, or you go to your browser and do something. This idea of the thing running all the time autonomously as an agent, that's a totally different interaction medium. We can push things to you. We can detect things. I actually think the models are way more capable than kind of the harnesses and rails we have around them for security. And so we're working really quickly to try to bring that to parity with them as soon as we can.
Last but not least, obviously a lot of people have been interested in working with you guys. Maybe tell us a little bit about what you were looking for, the next step of the journey, partners where you're kind of like trying to bring on board for the fundraise.
There's a lot of people that invest that are successful investors that are more about the money, but we sell to developers. We
Right.
sell technology to other technology companies. And so it's really important that our entire, cap table and our investor set are people that deeply understand technology businesses. And that was one of the things with Sapphire. I was, you in particular, but also the whole firm attracted to. As a company, as we're growing, I mean, there's so many amazing things that we've built over the last 7 years culturally that allowed us to get to this point, and the foundation we have is really strong. We're really rebuilding the whole organization today, though, to be AI native. And we're doing it in a way that we're actually leveraging AI at the core. And so I think that's the other thing we look towards, for partners we work with or people we're hiring onto our team, is that kind of deep understanding that we're in a technology transition moment right now. It's the super cycle of all super cycles. And it's go time on top of all of that. And so we're thrilled to be partnering with you and the entire Sapphire team.
Very much the same. We couldn't be more excited to be part of the journey.